Good morning, Academy 55 premium members and everybody else who is watching the recording. David Kahn here, taking you through some live trading uh, between the hours of 8 and 9 on Tuesday, the 18th of June. It's now 5 to 8 in the morning. I just brought this up to illustrate that we have some Euro news at 8 o'clock. And even though they're not red flag news, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Euro events at 8 o'clock. And although they're marked down as low, it may be enough to shift the market a little bit. So I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. So 8 o'clock, it'll be interesting to see how much volume there is on the 8 o'clock candle because of those bits of news, even though they are low grade news. And sometimes they get it wrong, of course. I mean, a low grade could become a medium or even a high, but be interested to see how much those 6 clumped up Euro newses work out in the volume of the 8 o'clock candle. Anyway, before we go ahead though, let's just do some housekeeping. Check your MT4. And indeed, you are on the EUR USD because that's what we're trading on the minute time frame. You've got your all important 1% in the risk area there. Your risk to reward is purple and your lot calc is in purple. And this little box here is switched to purple just in case we need to close trades in a timely fashion. So that is a bit of housekeeping. If we switch it over to the 5-minute time frame, we can see we're smack in between zones, sell zone, buy zone. So, and continue the theme on the 5-minute, just like the 1 minute, the 5-minute candle likes to hover around the purple line, and indeed it has been doing so. But now is the time when there is a directional change. We have a wee bit of imbalance here on this candle. So I would expect the price maybe to go higher, at least to fill out this little imbalance here. And we have big 4-hour imbalance that I've drawn up here. So there are good reasons for it to go higher, but we don't know the timings of these things. Looking below, well, it's a lot, yeah, to go all the way over here to where we were yesterday. And there's no imbalances here on the 5-minute I can see at the moment until you get down to these level here. That's imbalance. So we have an imbalance all the way down here on the 5-minute time frame. And that's quite a way. We need to pass through these zones before we actually get to that imbalance. So that's what we're seeing on the 5-minute. Put it back to the minute. And personally, I am very, very near my target. So this is the thing about risk. I think everybody's the same. When they get near a target, specific target, you seem to be more risk adverse. In other words, taking care of your risk a lot more than when you just started. I think that's a natural thing for people to do. So when you're near any sort of target, you take more attention to it. But really, as traders, we should be taking the same amount of attention all the time. But I guess it's human nature. You can't help that. And when I reach my target, I give myself a little extravagant reward, i.e. take your partner out for a meal, you know, something that you wouldn't normally do as a little reward. Physically, it makes it all worthwhile. That's what I do. It keeps me enthused. I mean, although I should be enthused enough because this is a regular income for me. I appreciate a lot of you haven't got that with this trading at the moment, but when you get there, you have to give yourself a little physical rewards, like I say, maybe an extravagant meal that you would not have done otherwise, or so a little gift to yourself, whatever. And that really sort of gives your mental state, makes this whole seem a lot more worthwhile. But why wouldn't it be if it is a regular occurrence, your income? But sometimes you have to physically remind yourself of that. Right, so the 8 o'clock candle, well, those 6 small euro events didn't really get too much. Sometimes they do. Something to be aware of. But now we are in a situation where I would have liked that as a buy because there was a large volume buy, and then you couldn't get into over here. So although I say large, I can remind myself we're on the minute time frame, but that's like 3 or 4 pip move, and then you couldn't get into after that. So even though it may work, to me, that particular trade, I would have sort of rated that a little bit more risque than the normal because of the large volume it had to travel before we could actually act on it. But we'll mark it up regardless. So you could have possibly got in there, keeping a respectful 2 pips away, which is there. That means your 2 to 1 is up there. And well, yeah, you would have nearly done it. In actual fact, I don't know. Hang on, let's take that. No, not quite there yet. But to me, that would have been a bit more of a risky sort of trade because of that large volume candle before we and the amount of time before we can even act on the buy. But that's just me. Other people would have got in there. And like I say, because I'm very near my monthly target, you do tend to look at it a little bit more towards being risk adverse. And now, indeed, you've got the paradoxal flip. So that sort of indicates at least we're going to have maybe sideways movement for at least 3 or 4 candles. You very rarely get one paradoxal flip and then it carries on. It's at least 2 or 3 if it does carry on. So you wouldn't have quite got your 2% yet because you'd have to wait. Like I said, you'd have to wait before the trend line gets below. And these lines here I've drawn up. These are the well, these lines here I've drawn up because they indicate where the zones are. So indeed, that's those yellow lines there. So we're seeing now we're seeing sellers sort of taking charge a little bit. So the next alert up is indeed a sell for us. So again, it would have to be here at the minimum. 2 pips away. Have I got enough room to get to my target? But the purple line's in the way, going on the 5 minute. Purple line's down here on the 5 minute. So yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to taking that if a sell does take place, because that's where the green would change to the red if it is going to. Okay, so nice to see so many people on this morning. And if you watched the recording yesterday, you have seen it was a little bit different for me. In fact, I took a 1.5% rather than let it go the full 2% again, because I am so near my target for the month. I was then, and I could see things could change, and indeed they did change. And I got in a little bit late. I got in about a pip too late onto the trade yesterday. Had a bit of a technical issue with the trade assistant. My fault. Nothing to do with the trade assistant. It's just early in the morning for me, and I was a bit too lethargic on it. And because of that, if I'd have been in where I wanted to be in, I would have had my 2 to 1. But because of that, I was a pip late, and that made all the difference, really, because I was about 0.3 of a pip from reaching take profit before it turned around. Obviously, I didn't know that was going to be a thing, but I managed my stop loss a bit more than I would normally because of that. And initially, I put my stop loss to my entry, so I had a risk-free trade, and then I decided if the Paris Bazaar looks like it's going to flip, then I'll take it where it was. And for me, it was like 1.55%, something like that. But I marked it down as 1.5. So it was a little bit different for me yesterday. Don't normally do that sort of thing. But it's all about respecting and keeping your equity. And maybe I should bring that in a little bit more into the live trading scenario than I normally do, because I have full confidence in these in the Academy 55 system, so I just let it run to the 2%, be patient enough with it, and most of the time it does work. But I was a little bit late into the trade, later than I wanted to be, a little bit, not much, but that was enough to sway my decision to be more risk averse, and I put my stop loss to my entry and take it out where I did, like I explained just now. So that was a little bit different yesterday, but like I said, we've always said, I do me, you do you. Everybody's different in the way they trade. But we are here at the moment. We're seeing consolidation. This is what we call a doji. This is indecision candle. Indecision. When you see wicks above and wicks below, it's indecision. The sell's running out now, so a little bit of a buy on this candle here. And indeed, it might be continuing to carry on up. Between the hours of 7 and 9 is more directional trading for the EUR USD. And indeed, the Parabazar has flipped down now, so I can't get into the trade until at least it goes down there at the minute. Just bring this in very, very quickly. We're on my Forex Factory. Tomorrow, being Wednesday, there's a bank holiday in the US all day. So, and while I'm here, on the Friday, at this time of day, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red flags. So I just want to draw your attention to that. So there won't be any trading tomorrow because of the US bank holiday. I suspect volume will go out of the market on the EUR USD pretty much. Be like a Monday morning. And on the Friday, we got so many red flags. Doesn't suit me for that time of day. So we won't be trading tomorrow and Friday, but I'll be seeing you again on Thursday. So I just wanted to point that out before we carry on. But at the minute, we could be having ourselves a deeper buy, a bit more of a buy, possibly getting into these areas up here, especially that area there where there's a support and resistance drawn up on the 4-hourly. Let's just see what this little blue thing says. FX option, right. Shouldn't do that really because it's so brief and I don't really know what that means. But luckily, because we're on the 1 minute and we act on what we see, not what we think, with a very short space of time, we don't have to disseminate the longer term view too much. All we've got to do is make sure we keep away from red flags. Right, so indeed we're going for a deeper buy now. The next alert I can act on is a sell alert because we got this is how it works with our indicators: buy, sell, buy. So I'll definitely, the next alert will definitely be a sell alert for me to act on wherever it takes me. But we are seeing a lot of, well, not a lot, but quite an amount of consolidation here. Sideways movement. Making their mind up what they want to do. Gathering orders for a buy or a sell. And all the time, obviously, the volume ribbon is going more horizontal. The ribbon itself is thinning out, so the volume is thinning out. Obviously, you can see that anyway through the candles. So, like I say, point out all the time, we have imbalance down there that needs to be sorted. So there is good reason for price to get down to this area and revisit the purple line there. So whether it does it within this within our time on the charts remains to be seen. It's very very choppy here at the moment, as you can see. Maybe just that's 6 bits of Euro news maybe they're disseminating that. Was that good news for the euro overall? Was it bad news for the euro overall? Maybe they're disseminating that. Maybe they're picking up orders or buys or sells. So it's either nervousness or pure indecision at the moment. We don't know which is which. All we know at the moment is we can only act on a sell if one appears itself to us in a timely manner. So again, there's the where I can enter. And as you can see now, that brings the take profit along with the purple line, which is quite good if the sell does present itself. Well, I wouldn't be able to get there really, so. But like I said, pointed out, we got imbalance down to these areas here. So there is good reason for price to get below. Quite a big volume to do that. So let's go over to our MT4, put the lines on. Keep a respectful 2 pips away, SL20. That means there. That means I'm 2 pips away from entry. Give a bit of wriggle room. Thanks for Steve's find just last week and his video. I can now manipulate MT4 a little bit better than before. Still not as good as TradingView of mine, but as good as it's going to get, which is all right. Can widen these candles a bit more. So we're waiting for a sell alert. Oh, we're waiting for all sorts of things. Green trend, a red trend line, a red wave. Parallel size now has flipped above price, so that's good. But we're still in this area of consolidation, and it might continue to do that for as long as it wants, obviously. I mean, price will have to be down here somewhere, creating a new low at the minute. And then maybe all of a sudden we'll get ourselves a sell alert, trend line will turn red, wave will turn red, and all of a sudden we're in the in for a sell. And that's how quickly things can be because we're on the minute time frame. Again, brewing up to another lovely day down here in Cornwall, where I live, the southwest of the UK. Hope it's nice, whatever part of the world you're in. All right. All of a sudden, we might be going for, wow. I'll stick with TradingView still at the minute. Not to worry. This is a sort of scenario. All right. Oh yeah. Well, parallel size flipped again. So indeed, we're still reacting off the buy. We're out of the consolidation area now, and indeed, they have analysed the Euro news that happened at 8 o'clock. and maybe it might be a little bit more good news for the euro. Maybe. Going on to the 5 minute, looking at the bigger picture. As you can see, we're quite heavy bias occurring, and indeed pointing out that indeed we would have, if we had got into this buy, we would have got our 2 to 1. So congratulations if anybody was in that. If that was you, please feel free to give us a screenshot, put it on the in our group. Love to see people's successes. But overall, the overriding theme that we have within our live trading is patience. I'm sure you're aware of that, if even if you're a newcomer. Right, so we've got a bit of a coming out to fill out that imbalance there with that wick. And now it's coming on down again, so we may be in line for a sell. So in anticipation of that, I'm still floating 2 pips away, but it's got to come down and consume that parabolic SAR to flip that above price. And obviously we got a red volume ribbon now. We're waiting for the trend line to turn red, which it could do quite quickly because it's more or less horizontal. Also the wave to turn red. So we could find ourselves in a bit of a sell situation relatively quickly. It may do. And we're here ready just in case. But we've got to see all those different other signs first. I can get it looking a bit bigger. Obviously, we look at TradingView to look at the bigger picture and also mark out where we might see a trade with the zones and everything. But ultimately, your ultimate thing to look at is the one on your MT4 or MT5 or whatever you're using, because that's where you're going to place the trade. So these areas here slightly different to TradingView because it's not the same stream. So ultimately, you must go off what you see on this platform rather than the TradingView platform. So if you notice, while the angle the parabolic SARs are going up, that means volume is running out for the buy, and it wouldn't take much for a candle to sweep down, envelop the latest parabolic SAR and flip it above. But obviously we need the wave to be also well above the candle. So price needs to be down here somewhere before we can ever get into the trade, because I've got to give it 2 pips. And that means our stop loss will be probably just below the purple if that's what happens. But we got imbalance here to be sorted out. So things could happen quite quickly. I think the way it's looking now, this parabolic SAR could be flipping above price anytime soon, certainly within the next couple of minutes, unless a bigger buy ensues. Try and the majority of you are probably on demo accounts, but try the best you can to treat your demo account as if it was a live account. Do a bit of role play, like you're an actor or something, and you're doing this for your live account, and try and treat it like it, because it'll be easy to fall into bad habits. Some of you might be thinking, oh, well, I'll take a sell now just for a bit of giggles, because it's not really, it's only monopoly money. So it doesn't matter whether I win or lose. Very well doing that just to test it out. But I think it's very easy to get in the habit of not being so, taking it a little bit more blasé in the future if you do that. So try not to do that. Try and treat it like a real account. And like I say, when you reach your target, buy yourself a meal with a partner, something a little bit frivolous that you wouldn't normally do, to give yourself a little bit of a treat. I mean, for the rest of the month, when I reach my target, for the rest of the month, I will. It's a really, really nice feeling, you know. I give myself that time off, you know, and really, I enjoy life. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy life while trading, but it's a little bit extra when you reach a target. A little bit extra feeling for the rest of the month, and then when the start of the next month we go again. Look at this consolidation here, sideways movement. Sometimes we get movement at 8:30. Got a minute to go. Sometimes the banks and organizations, they do things in a timely manner just as well as sometimes they go to certain price. Obviously, we don't know when that's going to be, but sometimes they do. Look at all that consolidation. See if I can maybe get a picture of a crab or something just going sideways. Ah, right, we've got a parallel sort of flip above price now. But obviously we need to see the red trend line, and more importantly, we need to see the sell alert itself. So price needs to be down around over here somewhere in order to happen. Because I mean that could just be more consolidation, price coming up here again, and so we need to see a bit of commitment. We need price to show us what it's going to do, more confirmation. But again, because we're on the minute time frame, that could happen quite quickly. So you need to put your finger on the button. Right. Seems to be a bit more of a volume push going down now. I say, yeah, I keep reminding myself it's only on the minute candle. It takes 10, they reckon it takes about 10 million pounds or dollars or euros to move 1 pip worldwide. So even though it's quite a hefty amount, as you can imagine. Right. Red trend line, red ribbon, red wave even. Come on, want the sell alert. That's all the all important thing. Want the sell alert, and then we're in. I'm 2 pips away. And as you notice, because I'm 2 pips away, the stop loss is above the wave. But I can't act now without the sell alert. Needs to show me a little bit more commitment, and then I'm sure we'll get that sell alert. But it needs to show a little bit more commitment that we are indeed going for a deeper sell. And that could happen within one candle. See how it's equalizing those imbalances that it did on the previous candle? Hmm. Going to stay in accumulation at the minute. Now we've got a wick above, wick below, indecision. I'm doing the right thing, boss. Where is that sell alert? Unlock. Sugar. Right. In the trade. A little bit later, no, 29. Well, it's 3 pip. It's not too bad. 2.8. It's not too bad to be in this trade. I made sure I had to lock my stop loss very, very quickly to make sure it's with the red, where the green wave meets the red. Because of the action of that volume of that candle there, I would have liked to have got in there really, which would have forced that up a bit more below that purple line, but it is what it is. So I'll draw that up on TradingView. And below there, TradingView up there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, great. 2.8, yeah, good. 2 pips is down there. Let's see. Let's draw a line. Horizontal ray over there. Oh, right. Further over there. Well, we got imbalance here, look, on that bit there. So my take profit is in that area there. So it could indeed come to hopefully do that. But go back to my MT4. This is where we are. But also mindful of the fact that it just could be coming down to visit this purple line before returning back up again. That is a possibility. Or getting down to these lows down here. So if we do get price just below here, again, looking after my equity, I'm going to put my stop loss to my entry. So I've got risk-free for the rest of it, if indeed that scenario happens. At the moment, you wouldn't dare do that because that is a line where I think I see so many times bouncing or breaking. So if I see price just below there, I want to pull my stop loss down to my entry for a risk-free trade because the parabolic SARs are getting lower as well, you know. But we have reasons for price to get down there, as we saw earlier on, with the small imbalances. They're only small imbalances, and so therefore there might not be an immediate concern to redress that imbalance just yet. Depends on how busy they want to be with taking trade one way or the other. We don't know that. But we're going into yet more consolidation by the look of it, which is not good. I like to see volume, a nice commitment one way or the other. Sideways movement is no good for any strategy, but it's a fact of life because it happens 80% of the time. So you just got to accept it and recognize if we are taken out where we lose 1%, so be it. No big deal. Really isn't on the grander scheme of things. So I can see price going below here. I'm definitely putting my stop loss to my entry for a risk-free, because I've given it wriggle room then, what we call wriggle room, to play around here as much as once, and then hopefully find the energy to come back down to my 2-to-1 down there. But at this moment, we haven't got that, because by the time it gets down here, it's more than 1% as well. So it's gingerly coming down to visit this purple line where it likes to be. No big volume push down there. Right, now I'm going to, I'm going to put my stop loss to my entry. So now whatever happens, I've got a risk-free trade. And if it comes back up again, well, so be it. The number one rule in trading is to protect your equity. But you've got to be canny about it. In other words, look for areas where you know things may happen or not, as the case may be, until you do make that move. Like I said, the purple line is a significant area. We can see imbalance on this candle here, so there are good reasons for price wanting to go up to meet that, but that's still away from my stop loss if that indeed happens. Now I'm only about pip and a half away from my target. So come on, give us a bit of a volume push, please, downwards. But whatever, I mean, like I say, I'm in a risk-free trade now scenario, so it'll be nice to be paid for the time we've been waiting. But as you know, and as you've seen before many times, price will do what it wants to do. And now it's visited that purple line again. Does it have will it come back and visit that imbalance before pushing down? Will it tap into it before pushing down? Will it will trick us all and want to go for a bigger buy? I mean, whatever it does, I'm not going to be tempted to put my stop loss to where it was before. And if it does take out my stop loss, so I've won nothing and lost nothing, that says to me this time it's tricky. So would I want to go into a buy as it was next time? knowing that it fooled me out this time, I'd want to go and regather my thoughts and come back maybe at a later time today when the probabilities may be a bit better. But now it's sort of respecting the purple line and going down at the same time, which is not bad to see, but it may be just coming down to fill out that imbalance before carrying on back up again. See what there's several different scenarios that could be happening. I suppose the best scenario is really if price was down here to move your stop loss to just above the purple line where the parallel SAR is, and then you know if things turn around, at least you've got a little bit out of the trade. But I mean, I haven't got enough wriggle room for that yet. And indeed, everybody has to make their own decision on that. That is down to everybody's own experience, their own risk averseness. We're all slightly different to how risk averse we are. But bear in mind, your overall responsibility is to protect your equity. Yes, and even if you're on a demo trade. See, now for me, I'd be happy to take my stop loss just above the purple line down to there. So I've got myself just under somewhere between 0.5% and 1% move. Because if it comes up here and develops up that parabolic SAR and shifts, and we could be going into more accumulation, or it could be doing all sorts of things. But I feel I've given it enough wriggle room now to do that. So I'm quite happy now. I'm going to be earning a little bit of money and getting paid for the time I've been with you and time of trading. I mean, a lot of the scenarios where when we trade, you've seen it, it happens within 2 or 3 candles, so you don't have time to sort of think like that. You just got to act. But when things do take a bit of amount of time to look for these, like the purple line, is price at the purple line now. We know price loves the purple line, loves to congregate around there. All the time be drawn into protecting my equity. Never change to take profit. Take profit is always 2 pips away. Sorry, 2% away. But manipulating your stop loss accordingly. And now I know whatever happens, if price does not reach there like it did yesterday, it was 0.3 of a pip away from achieving my take profit, and yet it came back and it would have taken me out, but I took them 1.5 because we had a slow sort of it's like a slow car crash, as it were, really, but in reverse. It's a good thing, but it's like watching a slow car crash, and but the majority of the time things happen so quick, and we're in and out within a very, very short 2 or 3 minutes, and you don't have to think like that. Hey, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have now let me just do this. There we go. So let me just right, minimize that. Bear with me. Right, as you can see, I'm on my journal that you can all see in the back office of Academy 55. I have 9.5% for my target. I needed 0.5%, but in actual fact, now I've got 2. So I go to my trading view, and there we go. You can see that. So what I do is I copy the link, go to my paste that in there. And so it was a sell. It won. And it won 2%. It was on the EUR USD. And it was 8 to 9. Tuesday. And that is there. That's my target achieved. Over my target actually now. So one happy little boy. So there we go. And like I say, no trading tomorrow because of US holiday. I've achieved my target, and I've still got another, like, what's it, 12 days to go till the end of the month. So that's about average, really. I had a difficult month in April because of the finance times and all that. But yeah, so I'm really happy myself, and I hope you got a little bit out of watching us today. And we'll see you guys where I will be on demo. No live trading for me. I'll get myself a demo account on MT4, but I've achieved my target for the week, for the month. So my live target, my live account is all taken care of, and rubbing my hands with glee. And we'll come back stronger again on Thursday. So nice seeing you all today, and speak to you soon. Cheers for now. Bye.